Welcome to RMTV, and on day 2 of the union's 48-hour strike on London Underground, we're joined by General Secretary Bob Crow. Bob, we know there was a massive majority in the ballot for strike action, but what's been the response from members last night and this morning?
Our members have been absolutely solid and against all management's attempts to undermine this dispute. The RMT members have absolutely been solid, and also to those other trade unions who refused to go across picket lines.
You were locked in talks with management for most of yesterday and came close to resolving the dispute. Why did London Underground pull the rug from under the deal at the last moment?
Well, I'm going to tell the absolute truth, and if the company or the Mayor's office don't like what I'm saying, they can sue me for slander or libel. Yesterday, the company tried to say that the dispute was over a 5% pay rise and over 2 drivers being reinstated. At the talks we had with London Underground yesterday, where the Managing Director Richard Perry was present, we told them to put the pay offer on the wall. Yes, in our pay claim, when management asked for us last October, our inflation was at 5%. We said obviously that we want nothing less than the rate of inflation. They've dragged their heels for 8 months, and because inflation's gone down, are still trying to say that it would be unreasonable by asking for a 5% pay offer. The company have made an offer to us on Friday, and what we're doing with that is going back to our members and asking what they think about it. So that wasn't a deal stopper, and we put it on the wall. The next issue was the question of the 2 drivers, where management are saying that's what the reason the dispute was for. They know damn well, in the talks that we had, there were 7 cases that we raised with the company, 2 of them being those drivers, but we had a separate dispute on the Victoria line, which our members have been involved in separately. We said that is not a deal stopper. Put that on the wall, nothing to do with reaching a resolution to where we are at the moment. The third question is where management go around people's houses unannounced, without the opportunity for our members to have a trade union rep with them. They've also been offering 52-week notices to our members, oral warnings, where in fact the agreement says 26. We've got an agreement with the company that if they do go around for an interview around people's houses, the member, if they wish, can have a trade union rep with them, and there will only be a 26-week warning, which was back in the original agreement. So that was part of the deal was agreed. We then moved on to compulsory redundancies. In 2001, we warned that it would be a disaster to privatise London Underground's Infoco. Metronet became then the employer of our members, and Metronet subsequently went bankrupt. In 2001, before our members transferred to Metronet, we had an agreement with London Underground that all London Underground staff and the Metronet staff that transfer out have an agreement of no compulsory redundancies. That was enshrined in their contracts of employment. Metronet went bankrupt, and Metronet now is back working with LT. So under their contracts of employment, they should have no compulsory redundancies. We have then asked for that all staff on Metronet would have no compulsory redundancies. No more, no less than any other workers got in Metronet, and no more, no less than any other workers got in London Underground. The company, after discussing this for a number of hours, come up with a form of words which, after we changed a few times, both parties, we agreed upon. I actually signed the piece of paper which was the agreement. Then we heard that the company was typing up the agreement. We would come back to our executive committee and suspend the action due for last night. At 25 to 7, just 25 minutes before the strike started, I approached the company and asked them where the agreement was, and the managing director said that he had received the phone call and he had now had to pull the deal. That's where we are. He could not live with the deal that we've got. So that's where we're stuck with. An agreement was reached, and someone above the managing director's office, either the Transport Commissioner or City Hall, pulled the deal.
Okay, have you been disappointed at the lack of direct involvement from the London Mayor?
Well, I'm surprised really, because we deal with 300 companies, so I can't get involved in every company. But when you're involved in a strike head-to-head, a serious nature, then you try to help out as best you can. And I was involved for 7 hours. I'm surprised that after trying to see the Mayor, who is responsible for transport, has not got involved, and also the Transport Commissioner has not got involved either.
Okay, and some media commentators have suggested that at a time of recession, tube workers should meekly tighten their belts and accept job losses and pay cuts.
Well, I would say to those people that say that is that they can't blame workers for the recession. I thought it was the bankers that caused it. And the only way that we can defend ourselves is having a strong trade union. And we ain't prepared to sit back and see our members' terms and conditions get worse than what they were.
Okay, what's the outlook for the next 36 hours and then further action after that?
Well, the trains yesterday, management brought the trains in early to prepare them early. That means that the trains now for tomorrow and for Friday are not prepared properly, and the track's not been prepared properly because our members are out on strike in those areas as well. And our members will remain solid. And of course, we're quite happy. If the company wants us to negotiate, we're available. I think that the Transport Commissioner should get directly involved now, but we're willing and able to have a meeting with them to try and resolve it before even the strike even ends, if need be. And we will take stock of where we are once we meet up with all our representatives next week.
Bob Crow, General Secretary, thank you very much.